Hey guys, I want to review a roofing company from the top 100 roofing contractors list and talk about their marketing and what they're doing well so that we can learn from that. So I'm going to start with Able Roofing, which is a huge company in Ohio. They're doing millions of dollars and they're a huge residential company. And so just starting off, looking at their homepage of their website, they do an excellent job of communicating who they are, which is up here, Able Roofing, what they do, which is the list of services up here at the top, where they do it. You can click on the service area and instantly know, and then how to contact them. And so who they are, what they do, where they do it, and how to contact them. So the different ways to contact them is interesting too, because you could call them if you wanted to, you could text them through this chat box, you could fill out a form, you could go with this incentive of a free estimate, or you could go to the contact us page and contact them that way. So there's multiple ways to contact them. The other thing I want to point out about the homepage is that they do a good job of creating content for each stage of the buyer's journey. So the buyer's journey is first awareness, then consideration, and then decision. Awareness is where the customer is trying to figure out what their problem is. The consideration stage is where they're trying to figure out the best product and solution. And so that question might be this shingle versus that shingle type of content. And so you want to create that on your website. And then the last one is decision, where they're trying to choose you versus another company. And that's where things like your reputation or reviews or testimonials come into play. And so they do a really good job of that. Here they've got some things related to the decision-making stage. So they're promoting the value of their company. Here's more of an educational page, which can be both awareness or consideration. They have right here, this is more of the decision stage, and then the gallery, which kind of plays a role into the decision stage as well as consideration. And then this is definitely more consideration, which is giving them more information and educating them. So another thing I wanted to point out was they have a lot of location pages, which positively affect how they perform on Google in order to get more leads. So they have location pages for different services. So here's the city, here's the service, and you'll see that all throughout this page, and they do it with multiple pages. And then next they have service pages, which you want to create service pages for each of the services that you do. And you want to hit on as many topics around that as possible. And so they have a lot of information, a lot of text, a lot of visual things on this page that will help the customer consider them as a trusted resource. So you'll notice that some pages for some companies just have like one or two sentences or paragraphs. And here you'll see they have all kinds of information on here. So it's good to build out your page. Next, I want to look at their traffic and how much organic traffic they're getting to their website. So right here, it says on average, 8,000 visits a month. That's not what they're paying for. That's just what people are coming to as a result of those location pages, the service pages, and all the other content like the blogs that they create. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but that's a huge number. And it was even higher up here in the past. And so right here, it shows how many keywords. There's over 7,000, almost 8,000 keywords that are causing their website to show up on Google. And I'm going to explain one of the tactics that they're using to make that happen, which is something that you can implement as well. And then let's take a look at this. This is the keywords that cause their website to show up. And one thing I want to point out here is these are showing up on the first page of Google. And look at these keywords: water coming in under fireplace. There's a small amount of people that are going to search that every month. But when they do, this company is positioned to come up. And one thing you'll notice is when that's the specific keyword, and about 70 people are typing that in every month, right? And check this out. That keyword, water in your fireplace, that is exactly what people are typing in: water coming in under your fireplace. And so they're creating content based for specific keywords, if that makes sense. And as a result, they're creating tons of valuable content in here. And now I could get into the tactics of what they're doing on this text, because there's also a strategy here, but we'll have to save that for another time. I also want to point out the backlinks, which is also an aspect of SEO, and it helps promote their website. And the one thing that I noticed on here is that they have so a backlink is when another website has a link that points to your website. And one thing you'll notice on here is they have a lot of local companies, newspapers, or events, or other businesses that are promoting something that they're doing. And then Able Roofing came in and was like a sponsor. So right here, this is the backlink, a sponsor or somehow participated in the event. And so then they got a backlink. And that's just a tip for how you can be involved in your community and the activities that are going on in order to get more backlinks, which is a huge support for your SEO and showing up on Google. Next was, this is actually a surprise, but the speed of their website on mobile was actually pretty low, and that's going to negatively affect you showing up on Google, because Google wants to provide a website that's fast. And so this is a free tool that Google provides. And what it does is it shows you how fast your website is, and it gives you ideas on what you can do to improve that. So that's something that you could actually take away today and test your website out on. Right here, I wanted to look at their Google My Business, which they have tons of reviews. That's amazing. And of course, they're good reviews. They also have a button for somebody to be able to contact them, and their website's connected. Pretty standard stuff. They do have some questions and answers, which is good. You want to make sure that that's filled out. You want to use this platform as much as possible. And they do have information here, but I noticed they didn't have updates or products necessarily listed in here, which is another thing that could showcase their business and what they're doing. So that's just an additional thing that you could do to your Google My Business. Now, looking at their website, and I remember they're a huge company and they have tons of business, but they don't seem to be using their YouTube channel as much as they could, which is sort of unfortunate, because if you look at this video right here, it says leaking bay window. That's one of the key words that they no doubt have a page about, right? And this video has 20,000 views on it. But they have very few videos. So they could, if they wanted to, they could build out more videos related to topics like that, because those are things that customers are going to be asking, and it's going to showcase their skill set. And clearly this video worked for them. So it's an opportunity to continue doing that. This metal roof install got a lot of views. And so how to replace a skylight, like those are things that customers are going to be asking, right? And so that's just another opportunity for you and also for them. I did find it interesting that on their Facebook page, they have a lot of reviews, but they don't have a lot of, okay, so they do have a good amount of followers, that's true, but they're not very active on here, right? And they also aren't getting much engagement, right? Like, look at this. Over 1,000 people like and follow the page, but only one person liked this page, right? Or like that post. One person liked this post. What does that tell me? Now that tells me that organic posting on here is not one of their powerful sources, which is interesting, because some companies, they want to test out Facebook, and so they just post on Facebook a lot, but posting on Facebook organically doesn't always result in the outcome that we hope for. Now, they could be advertising and running ads, which I wouldn't see on this page. And most likely they're doing that. I don't know. I haven't looked into that yet. But this is just an interesting observation. They're not very active on here, and neither are the people that are following the page. So my takeaway from that is you can be a huge company doing millions of dollars without stressing about Facebook followers or stressing about Facebook posts. The exact same thing goes for this. Their Instagram, they're not as active on here. Look at that. That's all the photos they have, but they're a multi-million-dollar business, and somehow they're crushing it without Instagram, which is, I think, an important takeaway, because we can put too much emphasis on social platforms, which, while they are helpful, there's a specific use and purpose to them. And so we don't want to be too focused on it. So they have 18 posts, 600 followers, not very much is happening here, but again, they're still crushing it as a business. And then the last thing I wanted to point out was I just typed in something into Google, and they're also doing Google local services right here. And of course, they're doing Google ads. Or sorry, that's not a Google ad. That's the Google My Business. They might be doing Google ads. It didn't come up with this specific search, which just means that they might not be going after that specific keyword. So I don't really know what they're doing with that. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.